Adriana should be good to go. That's the message I've received. Adriana, if you're in here again.
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Excellent.
Perfect. It's the demo curse.
It's the demo curse, right? Let's. Cool. Adriana, if you want to take the center stage here and then share your screen. And then make sure you're on megaphone as well, please.
Oh. Okay, is that better?
Perfect.
Cool. Let's see which one.
Was it a browser issue initially, or just curious? So we have other teams.
No, it was just like a refreshing issue. I'm gonna have to come back again. I have to do like the permissions, and then it's asking me to quit and reopen. So give me like 1 minute.
Sure. Judges are asking if Ilya is online. I think he is currently offline. I don't see his light on. We'll give Adriana a minute here. All right.
All right. Can you guys hear me still?
Yep.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Let's share screen.
Cool. See your screen.
Let's see. You guys see my screen?
It's full. Oh, yeah, I do see it. Are you ready to go?
Okay, cool. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Gonna set the timer?
Yes.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. My name is Adriana. I was in the Army for 8 years. I did information security / cybersecurity, and I got out, and I am now a full stack developer, and I've been doing it for 3 to 4 years now. So I am here representing Open Doors Sanctuary. So we have a brief agenda. We're going to go over the team, the problem that we're trying to solve, the solution we're trying to solve, and the tools and technology that we utilized. And then I'll give you a quick live demo. So here's the team made up of 8 people. It grew from 2 people. And we had a late team member that came in, but he killed it when he came in. So yeah, I'm glad to be part of this team because they all killed it. Okay, so there is a rise of fleeing Ukrainians during this crisis who have to move quickly out of dangerous situations and areas, which leaves them without shelter and semblance of existence. The Russian Federation launched a military offensive against Ukrainians on 24 February of 2022. In 5 weeks, a quarter of that population of Ukrainians have been forced to flee their homes. As of today, more than 4 million refugees have fled Ukraine, making this the fastest growing refugee crisis since World War II. The escalation of conflict in Ukraine has caused civilian casualties and destruction of civilian infrastructure, forcing people to flee their homes, seeking safety, protection, and assistance. So our target market or our target user is that 35-year-old mother of 2 who needs a way to access refugee in a new location so that she can keep her family safe in this time of crisis. So we decided to make a web application. But what makes our web app better than those out in the market? Well, Open Doors Sanctuary helps Ukrainian refugees by leveraging technology and community to provide access to hosts worldwide. Our solution accounts for the safety of both hosts and refugees by enforcing identity verification upon registration. Simple and secure. So the tools and technologies that we used our front-end framework, which was React.js. We used styling from Tailwind. And then we used a backend from AWS Amplify. And then we also used Adobe XD for all of our mockups. Some of the future versions are going to have authentication by Cognito, a database by DynamoDB, implementing 3 APIs, the ID verification API, the Maps API, and the languages API. So what's next? We plan on making this project open source and allowing the solution to crisis fit to any type of crisis. So let's go ahead and do a quick live demo.
Oh my gosh, I'm crashing you guys.
Can you guys still see my screen? Okay, can you see my application? It should be a splash page of a door.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this is our splash page that we have. We wanted to make a UI that's appealing to those who are seeking refuge. We want it to be a sanctuary per se, hence our name. So what we have here, we have I want to learn more about what's going on with Ukraine. That's going to take us to the frequently asked questions. We stylize this is that for each of those questions, there's going to be a pop-up for that particular question. And these are all frequently asked questions. And then also we have our footer header down here. And I made sure that we incorporated our slogan, which is when crisis strikes, a door to sanctuary opens. And then if we go back to the logo, it takes us back to the home screen. And then if we want to become a host, let's go ahead and do a little quick fill out of your name. Oh, and this has some form verification. So if there's an issue with the form, you will get an alert of what's going on with it. And then also, if you wanted to double check yourself with your password requirements, there's a tooltip that'll remind you. Okay, let's see this error message happen. Oh, the passwords do not match. Okay. So that's just an example of how our form verification works. Let me go ahead and finish signing up. Oh, my passwords don't match. I'm typing too quick. Okay.
A minute and a half here.
Perfect. And then, okay, so we want to add a birth year. So we have a verification for those who are 18 and above. So that form validation is there as well, just to put that out there. And, let's go to Ukraine. I want to find refuge, or I want to create an account, and I'm from Ukraine. I want to agree to the terms and then submit. And then we'll go to this dashboard where the refugees can search by location of what locations are available to them. And so let's say I want to go to Kyiv. So let's go to Kyiv. Let's see what's available in Kyiv. So, okay, there's only one place. It offers kids and pets. Let's open it up, get more details. Oh, there's contact information that I can get a hold of. Some phone number I can get a hold of. And then that's basically the gist of it. And then if you already have an account, we can go ahead and log in, and there you have it. You forgot your password? Oh, let me go ahead and send an email and get a code back. And that, my friends, that is Open Door Sanctuary.
Thank you, Adriana. Judges, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Team Open Door Sanctuary. I have a few questions for you. So I am a little bit confused right now because I'm looking at the landing page and it says help host Ukrainian refugees. So am I a host or am I a guest, which is like the target audience of this website?
That you're there as a either a host or a guest. So if you're a host, you'll click that tab up above in the navigation that says become a host. And if you are already or if you are a refugee, you'll go ahead and create that account.
Okay, so if I'm a refugee, I need to log in, and if I'm a host, I need to become a host.
Yes, there's two different workflows.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused here. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Alex, do you have any questions while I think about more?
Yeah. So I guess this is kind of a similar question that I had to the first team. I really do like marketplace solutions. I think there are a lot of people who want to help Ukrainian refugees who are willing to host. And clearly, as I mentioned, there are a lot of Ukrainian refugees. I'm wondering, did you guys think about the strategy for how to get the word out, how to let people know how they could do this, maybe even like helpful information for people who might want to host if it's their first time doing it? You know, not everyone has the experience of running an Airbnb or, you know, what that might entail. I'm just kind of wondering, the app looks great. How do you guys plan to get it out there and into the hands of potential users?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. I think the best way is to make it open source. That's plans for the future. And then also make sure that we're targeting not just this crisis, but other crises that have occurred, like the Syrian crisis. Let's say humanitarian crisis in Haiti. People are fleeing. Those are our target markets. Those are the ones who we want to work with. And that's how they're going to get the name out.
Another question that I guess is similar to the question I asked the first team. I'm wondering, having gone through this process and built this whole thing out, do you think there are things that you would have done differently knowing what you know now?
Oh, absolutely. I think the biggest struggle is being able to work cohesively as a team. For instance, we had a huge merge conflict that lasted 4 hours, which completely threw our track off because, you know, we needed all those reusable components to get things working. So I think the biggest thing would be to make sure we understand each other's workflows and kind of standardize it.
Makes sense. Yeah, sounds like software development to me. I'm wondering, you mentioned something about verification, which seems like a great idea, given that people are going to be putting themselves into the hands of potentially, you know, strangers. What does that verification process look like? How do you plan on making sure that, you know, everyone is safe?
Yeah, sure. So that is going to be part of the sign up process. I didn't get to show the screen or implement it, but I did create that screen process and how that works. We planned on implementing an API called Vouched. And what that does is, it verifies not only the host, but the guest by taking a picture of yourself. And then what the backend or the API will do is we'll go so far as to look at the dark web and any kind of criminal records that you have had. And if you get some sort of red mark, then you won't be able to register because this is a type of security issue, especially, we had 2 Ukrainians on our team and they had said that, what if there was bad actors? This is how we're going to prevent that and mitigate it. I know we're not going to completely erase all risk, but the more we mitigate it, I think that's the best solution.
Yeah, and it seems like a challenging problem, partly because, you know, I'm sure some of these databases aren't super well connected. There are people from different countries. Obviously, there are maybe different, like even something as simple as different spellings of names or character sets. I think it's a great idea. It sounds challenging, but I like where you guys are going with this. I'm wondering, do you think it's possible to do anything like integration or importing from other places? So just as an example, maybe there are Airbnb hosts who would like to, in their own way, you know, help with this, whether that's by giving like, you know, free lodging or highly discounted rates or something like that. Or perhaps, would it be possible to leverage something like couch surfing, where you have like an existing, a history and like a reputation that you can leverage? Do you think there are ways to piggyback off of these platforms in order to help get the network effects going?
I think so, but I think I want to make sure that the emphasis is on low cost and almost free. And I want to make sure that, those integrations that we possibly will work with is not having availability dependent on how much donation funds that are available. I think that's one of the key important things that I want to make sure that this app is and holds to that integrity.
Makes sense. I think in terms of questions, that's probably it for me. Vlad, did you have questions?
Yeah, I had a follow-up. Thanks, Alex. Adrian, I was wondering, so you mentioned about making the app open source. How does this work along with moderation efforts? Because I imagine you mentioned there's a problem of dealing with bad actors, and one part of it is having this verification API. But what about dispute resolution? So I imagine there could be issues with actual transactions happening on your system, and how do you do moderation of these transactions?
So moderation, I think the first line of defense is that vouch ID, and then also education and a terms of agreement policy that informs each user, both either the guest or the host, that if something happens, this is illegal and could be punitive by the court of law. I think education and some sort of mitigation is a great combination to keep that under wraps.
Thank you. And thank you, team Open Door Sanctuary.
Yeah, thank you for the time.